A little update for those who've been following our fertility journey. From the beginning, Alan and I wanted a big family and thought, we would just keep trying until we decided we were done. Unfortunately, that was not the case. With both of the boys, I did have to do an infertility treatment to get pregnant, pills and a trigger shot. And although a lot of times it can take a long time, with both, we were able to get pregnant on the first try. Giovanni was born in January of last year, and we decided in April that we would start fertility treatments again. On top of that, we decided that if we were going to get pregnant with baby number 3, me quitting my job would be a good idea because balancing kids and ministry just had become a little bit too difficult. So we started fertility treatments in April, and unfortunately, this time we were not so lucky and we did not get pregnant. And so we tried again in May and June and July. And again, not so lucky. I think at that point, I was starting to really doubt. From the beginning, Alan had been just a rock. He trusted the Lord's plan and knew that if it was in his purpose for us to get pregnant again, that we would. And he just had no doubt. I was a bit more skeptical and fearful, I think, but we kept trying. And in August and September, we added some shots to our treatment to try to boost things. And we still did not get pregnant. October was probably the toughest month because the end of September was when my job ended. And in the first week of October, not only did we find out that the last treatment didn't work, but we also found out that Alan lost his job. So I wasn't working, Alan wasn't working, the treatments weren't working, and up until that point, his insurance had been covering the bulk of the cost of the treatments, which they can get kind of pricey, and so that's what kept us being able to try. And so it was a really tough month. Alan found a job pretty quickly, which was really great, but we both knew that we wouldn't be able to do many more treatments after that. With insurance not covering it anymore and the cost of it, we just knew this was sort of our last ditch effort. In November, we tried everything. We added so many things to our treatments. We did FemView, we did IUI, we did the shots and the pills and everything. And so we just kind of prayed that this was it. Unfortunately, that was not it. So in December, we were done trying with help. And after 8 months, I was pretty hopeless. I did not think it would happen. I was actually pretty sure it would never happen. We tried naturally for December, January, February, and nothing. And if I'm being honest, I don't know that I was really trying because I was pretty sure that it wouldn't happen. Like I just knew it wouldn't happen. In February, I got a text that someone close to me was pregnant, and it's probably the 12th person in the time that we were trying. And that was kind of what broke me. I sat on our living room floor while the boys were watching a movie and just cried out to God. I cried to Alan, and I was done. We decided at that point to reach out to an infertility clinic that was suggested to us and start the process. I wasn't ready to be done, and since I was certain we would not get pregnant without help, that was the route that we wanted to go. So I reached out to the clinic, and all that it took at this point was for me to make an appointment, and we were going to start the treatments. We knew that it could cost anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000, but it was a choice that we had decided to make. We decided that it would be April or May because we wanted to avoid having another December baby. and it was just waiting. Um, Alan went out of town, and it was the middle of April, and I realized that I hadn't started my cycle, and I was just waiting for that to happen so that I could contact the facility. Um, and it didn't happen. And so while he was out of town, I took a test, and it came back positive. Um, I was pretty shocked and overjoyed and afraid, a whole bunch of things. So I took two more tests, and 2 days later, I took two more. And the next week, I went to see a doctor to make sure. Um, but we found out that we were expecting. So in December, ironically, we will be welcoming baby number three. We have so many emotions with this, and know that it's only by the grace of God that it happened. Thank you for those of you that have been praying for us, because we know that God has heard your prayers.